And alright guys, what is going on? Welcome back to another video on the self-developed YouTube channel, you beautiful people. Almost out of breath. How are you guys doing? Hopefully you guys are having an amazing day wherever you are in this world. I'm in Canada. It is damn cold outside. I can see snow flakes falling from the sky. Yeah, it's beautiful nonetheless, and I do love it, man. I really love being in a country where I'm able to experience all the seasons. So you guys let me know, where are you from? What time is it? Are you watching this at 3 in the morning? And comment below, hashtag self-developed army. So guys, in today's video, right, get yourself a tea, sit down. We're gonna go pretty deep, all right? I titled this, Strengthen Your Ego, right? Now, as you guys know, I like to poke fun at our Western, gynocentric feminized society. And, I'm not blaming it. We're the ones who created it. It's a byproduct of our lack, that was a voice crack, our lack of masculinity or direction, right? But one big part of it that, we've learned through the education system, right, being primarily taught by female teachers. Again, it's no one's fault. I want to make this very clear. I'm not complaining. I'm just letting you know objectively what is and has happened, right? So, being brought up in a feminized society, right? Generally lacking father figures. You're in daycares run by women. You're in the education system, predominantly run by female teachers. Even, I'll be honest, if you look around, I think most jobs nowadays are more dependent, or not dependent, but run by female bosses. Like when I worked part-time, there was a man and a woman, they were married, but man, we were scared of the girl. Like, the guy came in, it was okay, but she came in, holy shit, straighten the fuck up. Like, she was scary. So, where I'm going with this is one of the byproducts from our feminized society, with a lack of masculinity, is this idea of everyone really just playing nice, right? I mean, think of your mom when you're being too loud as a kid, right? And there are pros and cons, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of pros to this, but you're being a little too rambunctious, right? You're maybe speaking up a little too loud. What does your mom say? What do they say, Shut up. Be calm. Be quiet, right? Shh. Raise your hand. Stop. Shut up. Be quiet, right? Hey, hush, hush, hush. Right? Whatever your mom says, right? And the problem with this is, as we grow up, this really affected me tremendously. We really have this lack of an ability to speak up, right? We're kind of like hush on autopilot. And the problem with this is we're not really able to stand up for ourselves, right? We actually have a very weak ego. We're kind of like fluid, if you think about it. Like, you go into a room with a bunch of other people, and again, this affected me tremendously. Even now, it still does a little bit. It does if I allow it to happen. We'll enter a room, let's say, and we kind of take on the energy of these other people. We're kind of like tofu blocks, right? Because we've always been told to be quiet. If they're loud or rambunctious, or, I don't know, they take on a certain energy, we kind of just take on that same energy. You know what I mean? Like, if you go to a party, does that make sense? This is actually having a very weak ego. If you have a weak ego and other people around you have strong egos, you will by default take on that ego, or you will submit to their ego, right? This is kind of a lot of times what corrupt authority is. If you have like a friend group and one of them's, I don't know, kind of like a dictator and tells you all what to do, if you have a weak ego structure, then you will submit and listen, and you won't really, you've been taught to shut up and raise your fucking hand your whole life, so like, why would you speak out now? Basically what I'm saying. Now, how this has affected me as of late is just this. I'll be honest with you guys. Even after I broke out of the shell, right, I was able to stand up and, learn to own my frame and not have to just take on the energy of other people. I was able to, walk away or set boundaries. That only solved half the equation. And really what I'm trying to convey in this video is the other half, and this is kind of where it's kind of sad, but I'm going to give you a solution. Us, right? For the sake of this video, we're pretty fucking woke people. We realize our limitations, our boundaries, how we were maybe screwed up like this as children, and we work on it. We fix it. That's great. That's fucking awesome, right? I'm with you there. But the majority of people are not like us. And the majority of people still have these very strong egos, right? Maybe they didn't have good parents growing up, so they're fucking talking all the time, or they're all fucked up. Maybe they're still quiet, whatever it is. That's 95% of people. And the problem is that when I moved into this condo, I expected everyone to have a completely balanced ego, right? They were respectful, they were to themselves, they had, strong barriers, but they were respectful, right? They were straightened up as a kid, right? Or at least they did that inner shadow work. And what I realized, unfortunately, is once I came here, everyone's still fucked up. Look, I'm not perfect, man, but everyone, right? These guys are all adults, and they are still just as flawed, a lot of them, as we were as kids. And so the problem is why I say strengthen your ego. I need you to be a bit more animalistic. I know this sounds so fucking backwards, guys. Essentially what I'm saying is us, right, as light workers or people in the self-development industry, we've put in a lot of shadow work. We've put in a lot of times at facing our inner demons. But what you need to understand, right, that's only half the battle, and that's good, but most people still haven't. And if you go into situations expecting them, like I did, I expected everyone, more or less, because they were all adults, right? This is the first time I've moved into a place with all grown people. It's not high school, right? It's not fucking 12-year-olds. I expected them all to have that level of, respect and shadow work, and I've realized that a lot of them haven't. And so what I need to do is, number one, I need to cut down that expectation. That's first and foremost, guys. This sounds bad, but most people are very asleep in our society. They have put in very little effort into bettering their lives, and that's just the reality. Whether they're 12 years old, 5 years old, or 50 years old, that's the reality. That's number one. I need you to understand. Lower your expectations. But then two, defend yourself. I literally need you to now bring up some of that ego that we worked so hard on mastering, right? Not letting it control us. I need you to let that come up a little bit for a self-defense mechanism. Because, think about it, right? This doesn't mean you're reverting and completely losing all your spiritual progress or anything like that. No, but I need you to become a bit more human and animalistic in this 3D world, because you will get walked all over to the day you die. Imagine going into like a zoo. This is a perfect example. This is what's coming to mind. If you guys have ever seen Planet of the Apes, I think it is, the first one with a Caesar, like the newer animated ones, right? Essentially, long story short, he was raised in a home, right, with a loving father. What's the dad's name? Harry Osborn from Spider-Man. What's the actor though? I can't remember. Good-looking white guy, right? Anyways, this monkey was raised at home beautifully, right? He was fed well. He, slept perfectly cozy. Right? If you guys seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And then eventually he had to get brought to a zoo, right? They couldn't keep him at home anymore. He caused an issue, and they had to bring him to a zoo. And the zoo is our world. We're like Caesar, that good monkey. We've been trained very well. We're very, just and virtuous. But that's not how the world is. And what happens is when he goes back to the zoo, he gets the shit beaten out of him because he realizes, like, what the fuck is going on? Here he is being so polite, he's like sharing, he's trying to communicate, and he's getting fucking pummeled, like no food. And he's like, what the fuck, right? Now, eventually what happens is he learns, okay, right? I need to strengthen that ego. I actually need to bring back some of that animalistic that not being perfect, right? Because the world isn't perfect. And eventually he masters it, and he becomes the fucking leader. He's the alpha out of all of them. Why? This is a beautiful example, because he still has the inner intellect that the majority of them don't. He has that intellect, that peace, that structure, that authority, that, right, being calm and grounded. But he then learns how to bring out and master his ego, which is his fight, which is his no, which is being in the fucking zoo. You can't be... Right? What do they say? It's better to be a warrior in a garden than a gardener on the battlefield. You can't be a gardener, a super woke monkey in this 3D world. You can't. You need a defense mechanism. This is exactly what I'm saying. I'm saying strengthen your ego. I'm a pretty woke motherfucker, okay, guys? I speak of these very deep ideas, but I'm in a fucking zoo, like you guys are. And it was my fault for even... how do I say this? Having the entitlement to think that the outside 3D zoo world is supposed to be how I think it is. It's not. That's not how it is. And I got woken up. It's a perfect example. I was literally Caesar, and coming into this condo was like coming into a zoo. Keep in mind, it was in the middle of a pandemic. Like, I get it, right? And it fucking shook me. Here I was being so polite, quiet, calm, very just to myself. I was very respectful, too respectful. I was too fucking respectful. And time again, all these people were just being loud and just literally like fucking monkeys. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Until I realized, I'm in a zoo. I need to strengthen my ego. I need to become a bit more animalistic. I need to become more like that fucking monkey man. Because we all are, right? But inside remain to have that wisdom, right? The groundedness. That is exactly how Caesar becomes the alpha and literally runs them all, right? If he didn't or was not raised in that house with those strong virtues, he would just be like all of them. He'd be lost just like all of them, right? You're in a good position. I know when you go back to the workforce or you go back out into the world, it seems like everyone is just so like a fucking monkey. I get it. Believe me. And I wish it wasn't that way. But it is. This is the world we live in. So I need you to keep doing the work within, but then have that animalistic side outside of you. You got to, dude. It's to protect you. Right? And that's what I've been doing as of late. I've literally been being louder, a bit more quote-unquote disrespectful, maybe closing my door a bit louder, not caring as much about things that I was just so respectful for, because I'm realizing that in order for me to survive in this 3D world, I need to, not to be disrespectful, I still have the wisdom within, but in order to survive and then actually thrive, very important, right? You got to be a wolf in sheep's clothing, essentially. Beautiful. I love that analogy. We're still wolves, but sometimes you got to put on the veil of the facade to just get by. Otherwise, you'll get eaten alive. It's just going to happen, right? So lower your expectation of people, which is the hardest part. Strengthen that ego, that animalistic side of you, that, you know, that rugged fuck you look, right? The guy who just doesn't seem too conscious. We need a little bit of that. We need that unconsciousness, right? But inside, we are still Caesar. You understand? Go watch that movie. Go watch it. Planet of the Apes was the first one that came out that was, you know, of the newer genre. There were some old ones. I'm not talking about those ones. And now there's like War on Planet of the Apes, Rise, there's tons, but it was the first one. I think you guys know what I'm talking about, right? You guys know Caesar, right? I hope so. So anyways, guys, that is it. Much more of a philosophical video. This is just what I've been going through as of late. Right? Lowering that expectation and just being a bit more brute-like, bit louder, bit, you know, fuck you guys. You know what? Fuck you. You guys have been taking and acting like this the whole time and I've been this nice motherfucker. You know what? I'm gonna play like you guys now. You guys are all playing dirty. I'm gonna play dirty a little bit. Not to disrespect yourself or to hurt anyone, but so you can take what you deserve as yours and then still be that wolf. All right? That is it, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, comment, and subscribe. I'll finish it here, guys, with the final plugs. If you guys are interested and would like to work with me on a personal level at anything of what we talked about here, maybe strengthening your ego or improving your fitness, business, mindset, and relationships, there is always one-on-one coaching, guys. Spots are open. We have group coaching, which is the workshop. You can check the one of January coming up. And finally, the self-development course, which is 3 hours long. It's passive and teaches you everything on becoming self-developed. Do you understand? Improving your fitness, nutrition, intermittent fasting, no-fat meditation, increase your masculinity, find that passion, turn it into a business, and improve your relationships with a sprinkle of strengthening that ego, that defense mechanism, that armor to get us through this 3D world to the kingdom. We're all going to the kingdom. That's where we belong. That's where our woke self belongs, right? But in order to get there, we need that fucking brute monkey goddamn armor to just fuck people up, all right? Out of love. You just need a bit of it. You just gotta sprinkle a bit. Take what's yours and then come back to the kingdom. Peace. All right? Thank you guys. Till then, much love. Peace.